All Roblox players should have noticed that the logo has been gray since several months ago. However, most people didn't know why this happened. At first, I thought it was probably because something like death of a certain staff. Strangely, Roblox never explained this. Recently, I think I discovered some of the reasons for that. It's all from a stranger on the internet, of course. I first met Grego18 in Natural Disaster Survival, which is one of my favorite games. His name on the list attracted my attention first. Later, I found him on almost every survival list. Obviously, he was a pro at this game. He kept teaching others in the chat box as well. In order to improve my skill, I asked him some questions, and those were the first conversations we had. He was kind, polite, very intelligent, and corrected me, like a teacher. He left me with good impressions, so I decided to send him a friend request. He accepted it soon after. So we talked a lot after that, from game to game, topic to topic, and this and that. Mostly about Roblox, however. He told me a lot of things about Roblox that I hadn't even known about. Later, I thought it was time for dinner, so I told him I'd be back in a few minutes. When I came back to my computer, he said this to me. "Do you have any idea of why they turned the Roblox logo into the color gray?" That's what I wanted to know as well, so I replied quickly. "Of course not. Do you know why?" "Sure, 99% of people don't know this fact. I'm not joking. I'll prove it." He let me wait for about 5 minutes, then this is what he said. "It's a warning. It's trying to tell people that bad things are happening, or will happen. Do you know why they chose the color gray? It's the color of misfortune. You may think it's ridiculous, but it's true. It may take some time for me to prove. Please wait for another 10 minutes. I did think it was very humorous. I respected the guy because he was very clever and knowledgeable. But that was just like nonsense. Anyways, I waited for him while starting a random Roblox game, the infamous jailbreak. But all of a sudden he sent me a message as soon as I joined the game. "Don't play." I was surprised to find out quickly he typed. Actually, that's not impossible because you can follow other players. But I panicked when I saw the message, so I turned off my game. Like lightning, I saw something flash when the window closed. But I never remembered that thing. It was too fast. I asked why, and he said, "I can't tell you that, sorry. But my explanation of the gray logo is almost finished. Sending it in a few seconds." You know, I'm not silly enough to visit such a link by a stranger, like many other people do. So I just replied, "Sorry, I can't trust links. Why don't you send it in text?" He said okay, and after that, it's another silence. I had almost lost my trust in him. He made me waste 15 minutes of my life. What on earth did he want to tell me? I became bored and started thinking. This whole thing is kind of creepy now. A strange guy to tell me a big secret by sending a suspicious link. Why did I spend time listening to the scammer's words? Why not spend time finding fun like just playing another Roblox game? Don't be fooled by that liar, I said to myself, while opening my old friend, Natural Disaster Survival. This time he didn't send me anything. Obviously he was building his trap. Or he gave up trolling me now. I joined the game successfully and began to have fun. He didn't join. In the third round, I noticed something was wrong. The disaster was a blizzard. I chose to hide under stairs. Then some players started walking towards me. I didn't feel odd because I thought they were trying to hide with me under the stairs. But all of a sudden, the message box is quickly filled with these messages. "Gray, what about Gray? Why Gray?" And those messages were sent from different players in 1 second. They were just right in front of me. The bubbles just popped up at the same time. They were still walking to me, filling my whole screen. They were just lifeless Roblox smiles on my screen. They were still approaching, their faces were becoming nearer and bigger. Their smiles, a frightening horror. held in their faces to torment me. The world became quiet at the very moment. The blizzard stopped making wind noises without warning. I couldn't stand that more, and just by one click, the window closed. This time, just like last time, I saw the game window change in a flash. This time, I remember more things than the last time. The whole picture of the game was full of faces. It became totally gray, as if you were loading the game. Everything turned gray. What's more, their faces changed as well, but it was too short to capture the details. All I could remember was their face became full of, from the meaningless, happy smile into disappointment or sadness, total gray sadness. I couldn't describe those faces, but I still remember how they shocked me at the last moment when the window closed. Then it was all gone. I took a deep breath and found there was sweat on my head. What was happening? I don't know, but it must be connected with that strange guy, Grego18. So I opened the chat box again and discovered that he finally sent me something. It took me several seconds to open the chat box. Then the blank chatting page froze for another 5 seconds before the message finally appeared. So you saw it, huh? I had lots of questions to ask him, but at last I typed only a single word: yes. You didn't believe me. You ignored my warning, but I'm not gonna blame you for this. Young men always ignoring warnings. Anyways, want the explanation? I said yes and waited for 3 minutes before he gave me what I wanted for a long time. The gray logo is a warning from some mysterious players. However, only a very small group of people is aware of this, and started investigating the whole thing. I am one of them, by collecting information and doing some hacker stuff. Now, I have come to some shocking conclusions. Firstly, they are trying to predict something bad, dangerous events, and warn people about this. I'm still not sure what they're trying to tell, but obviously, it's connected to our lives, yours and mine. Maybe it's just something small, like Roblox is shutting down. Maybe it's a big event in the world, like... The original message was just hashtags. He refused to tell me what it was. Secondly, talking about the mysterious players, as far as I know, they are a group of gray entities in the game. They usually disguise as normal players. Oddly, they won't do anything weird until you start investigating or gain any knowledge about the gray warning. When you start to know something, even very little, they will know you. Maybe they hack your computer. Then you will be greeted with them. That's a really horrible experience. At first, you will only feel weird and creepy with them. They may ask you some nonsense questions, but later it'll be darker and more frightening, which may fuel your nightmares. That's why I told you not to play any game. Their identities are still a mystery. In my theory, they're perhaps some inside staff, or maybe they are redacted. Maybe they know something and try to tell people in this strange and secret way. Why? Why like this? Why are they doing this? What do they know? We have no idea. Anyways, I think their in-game encounters are another way of warning. He stopped for a while. I read his words over and over again before he suddenly sent me a third explanation. Thirdly, the more you know, the more creepy things will get. The gray people in the game are only the beginning. The next will be worse. Be careful. I'm terribly sorry for making you another knower, but I really think I must make more people know about this. He became silent again, my thoughts consuming me. Anyways, I didn't get anything at last and began to suffer from a headache. I decided to ponder such thoughts no more and got some sleep. I motioned to close my browser. However, this time the computer loaded like a snail. While closing the tabs, it froze multiple times. It loaded slower and slower. The mouse seemed like it was getting heavier and heavier. Eventually, I dragged my mouse to the shutdown button with extreme difficulty. When the computer was asking me if I really wanted to shut down, the whole screen became gray, like Windows XP system slowly. But it was a Windows 7 system.